Welcome to Session 3 of Sequoyah, a Star Trek Adventures actual play featuring the Fantasy Grounds virtual tabletop by Nerd Eye Industries. Disclaimer, this is a beginner game, meaning that some of the players are new to Star Trek, the 2D20 system, Fantasy Grounds, or all three. So there will be some instructions done during gameplay, and there will be mistakes made. This is an interactive game, meaning that those watching live and those who watch the video on demand later can affect gameplay directly. In an effort to keep this as correct as possible, it is encouraged for those of you watching to point out any GM rule errors, GM only, please. So when I make a rule error and it is pointed out, I will reduce my threat pool by 1. So as of last time, there were no rule errors pointed out, so I'm starting with the full complement of threat for this episode. And those watching live have the added opportunity to help out the PCs. For 50 bits, you can give the group 1 momentum, and that is on top of the normally allotted 6 cap. So if they're already at 6 and you give them 50 bits, that'll give them another momentum. That'll go above and beyond. So you could also technically award threat to the GM for 50 bits, but I mean, that so rarely happens, then we might as well not even put that in play, but I'll throw that out there just because it technically is true. So now let's go ahead and get reacquainted with the players, and we'll go in rank order. So we'll start with Commander Mers.
Hi, I'm Rihanna. I'm DIY Ferret on like everything, and I've been playing Commander Kujera Mers, who is a Trill officer. He's actually one of the first Trill officers in Starfleet, and it's been a whole lot of fun, and I can't wait to get going.
All right, and second in command, we have Dr. Davis.
Good evening, everybody. I'm playing Dr. Davis. Super excited to be the doctor on board. Damn it, Jim, I'm not a whatever, fill in the blank. Looking forward to game tonight, and thanks Nerd Eye Industries. We've already got some momentum?
starting with 2 momentum right off the bat. Very nice.
Thank you, Dad.
All right, and next we have Lieutenant Salt.
Oh, hi. So that's me. I'm Morgan Conroy. You can find me on Twitter at ThistleRaven. And I'm playing Gideon Salt, who is our resident engineer. She made some mistakes last episode, so she's going to be looking to try and fix them. But that's her job, is just fixing the mistakes that others, and sometimes herself, make.
All right. And last but not least, we have our most junior officer, and that would be Lieutenant Carmichael.
Hello, I'm Brittany Leonagay. I'm playing Lieutenant Frankie Carmichael. She is green, I've been saying. She wears blue, but she's green. She is a fresh out of the academy science officer who just is really trying to prove her worth, and I think maybe shot a phaser for the first time ever. Yes, last time. Which is exciting. So that's kind of like what her deal is. You can find me online at Brittany Lee or at D20 James, where I do an all femme D&D podcast. Yeah.
All right. And I am Eric, and I am the game master for this show. All right, so last time, as a quick recap, the USS Sequoyah was tasked to investigate the disappearance of the USS O'Reilly, which was found dead in space orbiting the planet of Gamma Delta 5512. When Captain Maxwell and the O'Reilly captain, Tana Shin, beamed down to the surface, an ion field surrounded the planet that was totally impervious to sensors and communications. Commander Mers led an away mission to the O'Reilly when faint life signs were detected, which resulted in the away team's emergency beam out as they were being set upon by the O'Reilly's crew that were being transformed by some weird alien substance. So we will begin this episode in the Sequoiah's sick bay as Dr. Davis and Commander Mers are analyzing the biodata from their trip to the O'Reilly. All right. So you are in sick bay, Doctor and Commander, and anybody else who wants to be involved, that's fine too.
Would CVAC, our chief science officer, be there?
If you want. CVAC, other than that, would probably be on the bridge. It's up to you, Commander. You are in charge. You have the con for now. So, what is your determination for Commander CVAC?
CVAC can stay on the bridge for now. I don't want to deal with the ship right now. I don't want to talk about it. So we're going to talk only about this right now.
All right.
I think Dr. Davis probably would have Lieutenant Salt and Lieutenant Frankie there because, Lieutenant Carmichael, because because she would probably want to be making sure that they hadn't accidentally contracted whatever this is.
Okay.
So
okay.
While not like necessarily keeping them away from the rest of the crew, she's keeping them away from the rest of the crew just till she's sure.
Gotcha.
So you all would be there.
So
I love that tactic.
Yeah.
Because Frankie thinks she's there because she can help, and she has no idea that that's her.
All right, so we're in there.
Yes.
And he says, well, Doctor?
All right. Well, we have a ton of data to go over, and I'll need to spend a little bit of time analyzing it before we can exactly understand what happened to the crew of the O'Reilly. Something happened with their basic body structure. It was converted to a silicone-based one. The cell structure is not unlike the Horta of Janus 6, but this acts more like a viral contamination. Somehow there seems to be some alien RNA rewriting the infected person's genetic material.
You said viral. Is there a possibility that this can be reversed then, or?
I believe there is the chance. However, there's some complications involved. Our computer detected something in the tricorder data that could be significant. It appears that the infected crew member's frontal cortex was the first part of the body to be altered by this phenomenon. In fact, they are receiving some sort of low frequency impulses.
So something's controlling them.
Something is communicating with them and controlling them.
Damn.
There is
Could I take a look at that data, the impulses? Could I just
Please do.
read out just like a long printout with rips on the side, just like Frankie takes a look. I don't know that this is your normal impulses. These are very, very sophisticated, like smart and wow. Frankie's kind of getting lost in the data. It's like instructions. This is cool. Could I copy this? Could I? And she starts to like hand copy some of the things she's seeing.
We can print you out something else.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I kind of want to frame this. This is really cool. I've never seen anything like this before. But
All right, so Lieutenant Carmichael, if you want to roll and analyze that a little bit further, you certainly can do so.
okay.
So discipline, I would say, would most likely be science. You can use whatever attribute you want. And you have a focus in experimental biotechnology, which
Sure do.
certainly applies here.
Sure do. So I think reason and science seem legit here.
Okay,
And then I just check the focus off.
correct. Now, this is the data's there. It's just a matter of piecing it together. So I'm going to say that this difficulty is going to be DC 2. You start at 2 dice. You have 2 momentum in the pool. Do you wish to use any momentum on this roll?
Did we just get extra momentum from Saphaholic?
Oh, did you? Yeah.
It's a pride flag as opposed to a triangle, but it's 3 momentum. Thanks, Saphaholic.
Yes. Yeah, there you go. So add 3 more momentum to the pool. Whoever wants to do that.
I will use
3 more or just 1 more to make 3.
It should be she did. I think it's 3 momentum in the pool. So 1 more. Okay.
Thank you.
Cool. I'll use that pride momentum right now.
Do it.
Sounds great. That's like double bonus. Cool. Remind me what I do to make that happen.
All
Just
right.
another die.
So let's go ahead and I'll double click the momentum there. So you would drag and drop one of the momentum chips, the blue momentum chips. There you go. And then you would add a number of die. Just click the 3rd dot there. There you go. All right. So you've got your reason and your science clicked. You've got your focus clicked. If any of your values applied here, you could certainly use determination if you needed. And then if any of your talents factor into this, bold may. I think if bold allows you to re-roll 1 dice, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check that. Whenever you attempt to use a task, a discipline, you may run it. Yep. So you get to re-roll a d20 if you want to on this check.
After I roll.
After you roll,
Okay.
correct.
Great.
Yep.
Lovely.
There you go. So you're ready to go.
I'm going to do it. I'm just going to go for it.
Okay.
Yeah. Ooh.
All right. So you got 3 successes. So you generated a point of momentum.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So you double click that. There you go. Perfect. And so you put the pieces together. It is in fact it's a very, like you said, very sophisticated micropulse of just highly condensed data to the point where it's you figure if you could slow it down, you might be able to at least try and figure out where it came from and what exactly it's doing. For an extra, if you want to spend one of those momentum, I can give you more information.
Do it.
Always use it.
Sure. Use it or lose it.
Yeah.
All right. So it is not unlike. It was almost as if they were receiving information almost like they were remote controlled, and you with a having slowed down this frequency, you figure that maybe if you had a little engineering help, it might be possible to at least dampen or even reverse the field.
So there's a source here, basically, is what I'm learning, that this is all coming from somewhere and they're all being controlled. Okay. Frankie, what you see Frankie doing is just like eyeballs glued to paper, and she's like lost. This is like absolutely fascinating. She might need to be snapped out of it to give you any of this information. But she'll, pass that along. Freaky. It's getting freakier. It's like, puppeteering or hive mind, or they're being controlled, and there's like a big brain somewhere. Woo!
It is at once very cool and very scary.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
definitely one of those things. Do you think with this information, you can determine exactly where the frequency is coming from? I'm assuming it's on the planet, but if we can get an even closer, I don't know, some sort of signal on it, it would be extremely helpful.
Frankie's going to turn to Lieutenant Salt.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, yeah. Probably. Doesn't hurt to try.
Exactly. All right. I can't say however much time you want, but take as much time as you can to figure this out. Any resources on the ship, if you need anybody. I'm heading back to the bridge to figure everything else out. Doctor, if we were to get the people on the O'Reilly back here, what would they need?
We would probably need to put them in some sort of stasis until we can develop a vaccine for this virus. I'm not really sure. To put that many individuals into stasis could be a bit of a challenge. I'm not really sure we have the facilities. We may have to engineer something.
He turns to the Salt and says, another thing on your plate, unfortunately. I'll get the rest of engineering down here.
For the stasis stuff? Yeah, that's cool. I'm sorry, did you say any resource on the ship?
Within reason, and you need it. Why?
I've never been said that before or heard that before. It was exciting. Windows of opportunities just floated by my brain.
Let's
Anyway,
just focus on saving lives, all right?
yeah, no, that's the priority. That's the priority.
Yeah, thank you.
Commander, before you go up to the bridge, can I talk to you for a quick second?
Is this like a... This is not Kujera saying it. Is this like a we need to step away?
Yeah, just like a private thing, I guess.
Okay, then he'll nod and he'll like do a motion of like you can follow me as he walks to the bridge.
Yeah. Well, I don't have to follow you the whole way. I just if we're out in the hallway and there's not a lot of people around, she'll
Okay, we can stop. Yeah.
Yeah. She is downcast for Gideon. Looks a little shy even. I just, I wanted to say, well, Commander, I wanted to apologize. I think I got a little nervous back on the ship, and I didn't take the threat as seriously as I probably could have. But I would never want to endanger anybody, my teammates or anybody on the ship. So I apologize if that's what happened. It did happen. So I apologize that it happened, and I promise it won't happen again.
I appreciate your apology. The issue is you didn't know that there was a threat, and that's the problem. You might not ever know that there's a threat until it's too late. I like you, Salt. I wouldn't ask to have you on these missions if I didn't like you.
Looks incredibly taken aback by that.
Yeah, he's like, you're incredibly smart, and both Lieutenant Commander Grayson and I agree that one day you will probably be running, if not an aspect of Star Trek, then something Star Trek. If not an aspect of Starfleet, then something just as grand. But you are so...
People are hard for me, Commander. It's easier to work with machines and cables and things that don't have, feelings or opinions or judgments about me and the way I think or the way I talk or the way I look. So,
and that's incredibly important for engineering, but it will limit you in Starfleet. We aren't a fleet based on one person. You're really going to have to work at your people skills. And I say that with the most softening I can.
I understand. I will try harder.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. And I want you to know that should you be up for it, you should accompany me to the planet's surface, because I'm almost certain that's where we have to go.
Yeah, if I can get my hands on what's transmitting this, it could be pretty cool. So, I'll work with Lieutenant Carmichael and see if we can get cracking on it.
Okay. He will like do a very like friendly pat to the shoulder and say, I want you to know that when I first came here, it was hard as well. Just dealing with other people and different cultures and everything. But you get better. It's just another skill.
Yeah. There's a lot about me that people assume even before I open my mouth, and then afterwards they get a whole other different amount of assumptions. So it's hard, but I will try to be better.
That's all we can ask. And then he'll compose himself and keep walking and go deal with Seaback.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
All right,
I'll
so
head back.
okay, so Gideon and Frankie are going to be working on what?
We're trying to triangulate, right? We're trying to get to the source of the impulse beams, to where it's coming from, figure out a location.
Okay, so you're going to very likely start working with the main sensor array.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so and then Doctor, what are you doing in the meantime?
Well, she surreptitiously takes blood samples from Lieutenant Salt and Lieutenant Carmichael.
I like the idea that surreptitious is she just fucking stabs. Oh, that's my one. Sorry.
There's your one. There it is.
He just stabs you in the arm with the thing. It's like, ah!
Like they're totally absorbed in what they're doing, and she just comes by, grabs an arm, and then takes a blood sample for both of them. Like, not even really. Anyway, she goes back to trying to figure out. First of all, she wants to double check and make sure that they have not been infected by this virus.
Okay.
And then she's going to go over the data that she has and try and figure out what does she think the best way is to deal with this. Get some people in her lab working on
Like a triage almost.
yeah, some way to kind of like slow it down, essentially. And then obviously we've got to have somebody to look at the virus itself and figure out if there's something we can do to actually reverse the effects.
Okay.
And then she'll provide whatever information engineering needs to work on potentially trying to put all these people on ice.
Okay. All right. All right. So let's start with Kujera going to the bridge, walking. Doors. The turbo lift opens and the bridge is there. You see Commander Sivak he never sits in the captain's chair. Always stands beside it. He never sits in it. So when
I don't think Kujera would either, honestly.
Okay. So as you step onto the bridge, he turns and looks at you and kind of gives you a nod as if, silently relinquishing command of the bridge to you, and just immediately steps over to the science station. And then as you're walking on, says, Commander, we remain in just off of standard orbit. If we close in any closer, we will be caught in the ionic field that is surrounding the planet. As of right now, our sensors cannot penetrate the ion field, and we can only get very slight information from the O'Reilly, based off of the information that you received or that you got on the away mission. Let me. Oh, yep. Here we go. You are in orbit around the planet.
Cool.
So he says, "What are your orders, Commander?"
All right. They already know everything's going on. He's going to relay what they've figured out so far, and that currently engineering and science are working together to figure out how we could possibly find the source of this. All right, orders. We need to contact Starfleet to let them know we need more ships coming in, or at least some ship that's filled with the stuff that we need, just in case we're not able to do it now. I'd rather have something on the way. and to let them know, like, just the whole situation right now with the O'Reilly's people.
Okay.
If we need to send more engineering or everyone up there, then he will, to like get things going if we can. You know, we already set up the rooms for medical, so if we need to turn them into cryo stasis, then, you know, do what you got to do. Let's see. He continues with, we are going to have to go to that planet. One, to find the source of everything so we can hopefully stop this. Two, we have to get the captains back.
Agreed. I've authorized Lieutenant Carmichael to access the main sensor array, and she is currently there with Lieutenant Salt. And you see it, like, with one eyebrow just kind of creep up just a little bit. And he says, so hopefully they will find a solution to penetrating this ion field, at least make it so that way a rescue attempt can be made. He looks over at Lieutenant Taylor, who is your chief communications officer, and gives her a nod, and she immediately starts, you see her, she's got her earpiece in, and she's, sending messages to Starfleet and, the closest starbase and things like that, relaying the things that you just said. All right. So then he's looking at you and he says, I understand that we left one of our shuttlecraft aboard the O'Reilly. Is there, leaving us with one shuttlecraft remaining, do you want modifications to the existing shuttlecraft, or do you want to set up a salvage mission to go and recover our lost shuttlecraft?
Well, we only have one shuttlecraft, so no, we can't go get the other one right now. Something was wrong with that. I have flown it a million times. It's fine. Okay. Our first priority should be getting down to the planet, so if we do need to make any modifications that you think would help to get through the atmosphere, to help line it, if you want to send, well, actually, I need some more people to come with me anyway. Most likely we're going to need a few backup because we don't know what is on that planet. And getting some more medical personnel to come with us as well will be great, because if, God forbid, if anything is wrong, it's fine. Okay, anyway.
Very well.
That's what we need.
Understood. And he just he turns and says, and looks into the hood of the sensors, and just says, as he's turning, he's like, I will begin crunching the numbers and feeding Lieutenant Salt and Carmichael my information and my recommendations.
Great. Let's see. Yeah, I figure if the four of us go down, if we could get one more medical and one more, like a security officer, a red shirt, come down with us.
Okay.
I think that's
All right.
prudent.
So
I'm not sure
your
how many
yeoman,
people can fit.
your yeoman hands you your pad, and the duty roster comes up. So medical officer looks like you're who's assigned away mission duty for this particular time frame would be Ensign Schneller. Deborah Schneller. She's Debbie Schneller. This is her first assignment. She's pretty green. But
She's from New Jersey.
yeah, sure. Garden State. Debbie Schneller.
Yeah, with a name like Debbie Schnella. Yeah.
And then as for security, now obviously the chief of security went down with the captain because that is protocol. So so your chief of security is also missing. So it very likely would be. Well, do you want somebody like of rank, or you just want a red shirt?
I want someone without a family. I want someone completely.
All right, so you start setting your search parameters
So-
on your.
I'm looking for the log entry of expendable.
I'm just being real here.
All right, so essentially, you have the expendable chart, and you just do a random
No one's
generation of who pops up, and Jared Nuck is the name that pops up.
Okay, Jared.
Poor Jared Nuck. Security guard is a petty officer, so enlisted.
Okay.
Even worse, enlisted.
He's enlisted. Oh my god. It's all right. I'm not going to know anything about him. Don't
So,
describe him.
That's right,
Don't...
Jerry. So yeah, Jerry Nuck is he is nondescript dude.
I mean, I'm just assuming the worst.
Sure.
So if things are better, then who knows? Maybe Jeremy Nuck is going to be the fan favorite in 15
Sure.
episodes from now. We're going to go
Right.
to his wedding.
There you go. That's long-term goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or in a Star Trek fashion, writers are going to like him. After one episode, he dies off, and we're just going to bring him back. No one's going to remember, and
That's right. That's right.
be here till the end. All right, let's go.
All right. So let's go to the science nerds. You are working with the sensors to try and figure out where this, what you can find out about this signal. So let's do this as a group task. Okay, so who wants to be primary on this? Actually, we could set it up as a task. Let's do that. Let's see here. Okay. All right, so I just got the task page open just to kind of remind me how to do this. All right, so essentially what we're going to do is you've got an amount of work that needs to be done. So essentially the magnitude, you need to get a total of 3 successes to do this. And you can split it up amongst the 2 of you. The difficulty is going to be 2. So each of you, when you make your rolls, your DC is going to be 2. Resistance is going to be 1. That means that you automatically drop number of successes by 1. So essentially you're going to need 3 successes. One of them is actually going to be, essentially it's like damage reduction for this task. The way we're going to do this is Gideon and Frankie, you tell me what skill or discipline and attribute you're going to use to try and crack not only the code of this, but also to isolate its source.
Well, let's see. I feel like we can use maybe reason logically about where it's pinpointing. I also have something called intense scrutiny, which is whenever I succeed a task using reason or control as part of an extended task.
Mhm.
Oh, is this an extended task?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You may ignore up to 2 resistance for
Oh.
every effect roll.
Nice.
So that's handy.
Sure. Okay. So what that means is when you roll your successes, and you succeed, you would roll, your 6-siders, and then any 5s or 6s would actually reduce the resistance of this. That's the way
Okay.
that works.
All right. So, shoot. Okay. So
And if I'm
we're
not
trying to figure out what we're rolling.
Yeah, just you would tell me what attribute and discipline you're using. So you're gonna
Okay.
use reason and engineering.
Engineering.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the strength one.
Okay.
And then I've got I don't think I've got any values that it goes against. And I have focuses in power systems and experimental technologies. I wonder. Also, power systems. I don't know if that works.
Yeah. I think that would certainly apply. So I would say your focus applies.
Okay, so I roll 3 dice now, right?
Um,
Or no, I hit focus.
yeah, hit focus.
Okay.
There you go. So you have 2 momentum in the pool. Do you wish to spend any momentum on this roll to add dice?
Sure. Okay, so I'll add 1,
Okay.
and then I'll add my level of dice, and then I will roll.
There you go. You generated 6 successes
Holy pants, and 4 momentum.
and 4 momentum.
Does that mean Frankie can take a smoke break?
I think Frankie just figured out the entirety of everything.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. Crazy.
All right, so the difficulty was 2, resistance of 1, so that meant that your difficulty was 2, and you got it. So now what you need to do is you're going to roll 2. No, that's your engineering. So you're going to roll 5d6,
Okay.
and then after you roll that, there you go. 1. That's a nothing. That's a nothing. So far you got 2. Now that's an effect, so that's 3 plus an effect. 4, 5. All right, so with the effect, you reduce the resistance from 1 to 0, and you got 5 work done. And so, yes, Frankie, you totally can take a smoke break because Gideon just trashed that task.
I couldn't have done it without all of the data that you did. You did so much wonderful. You took so much of the work out of it that I just went boop, boop, boop. And man, it just logically, it just figured it out. Thanks, kid.
Frankie doesn't believe you, but yeah. Thanks. Of course. It's like she turned around and was like, suddenly there's a point on a map that was just like, got it. Is this it? Did I do it?
All right, so but Frankie, it's not like you're not able to do anything. So what Gideon does is completely cracks the code, condenses, takes the condensed information bursts and slows it down enough to where they can start to try and extrapolate exactly what this is. And without medical knowledge, it's really hard to accurately determine what this is. But from an engineering standpoint, Gideon, it looks almost as if it's sending information to different transistors and different microprocessors and things like that. It's really weird, just the way it's set up. But Frankie, if you want to roll to try and figure some of this out, I'll say that you would have to use your medicine discipline.
Okay.
And then whatever attribute you wish.
And go ahead and use a momentum. We've got some to spare.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. I think medicine and reason makes sense.
Okay. And I would say experimental biotechnology certainly applies, so your focus would apply.
It's gonna keep applying.
Yeah.
That's great. And I'll use a momentum. What's the difficulty on this one?
Because Gideon rocked it so hard, I'll say DC 1.
Love it. Okay,
Teamwork.
great. I'm just trying to do. So that means I need, how many successes do I need?
You'll need, with the DC 1, you only need 1 success.
Got it. Only 2 dice. And sorry, what does the focus do?
The
Just
focus,
a little recap for
it's
anyone
fine.
who's
Yeah,
not
that's right.
paying attention.
Exactly. What focus does is it makes your discipline, whatever the number your discipline is, if you roll that or less on your die on one of your dice, it counts as 2 successes.
Got it. Okay. Okay, got it. I guess I'll use a momentum too. Does anyone mind? Should
No,
we
go.
start? Okay, good. I'll do that.
There you go. So
and then add a dice for that, and then go. I'm doing it.
Good to go.
I'm channeling my inner Dr. Davis.
Oh no.
Yay!
Okay, so you got 2 successes,
Oh dear.
but you notice
How
that
did
But you got 2 complications.
Bad, like
What
bad,
did you
bad
do to
ones.
yourself?
It's like the opposite of Gideon's role.
So you succeeded. You certainly succeeded. So
Great.
the information that you got, and you can, I'll give you the base information. You can always add momentum for extra information. Is that the way that this virus works? It works on it works at a cellular level, like most viruses do. But the way that it's communicating, it's almost like sending neurologic pulses through this wave. And the best thing to describe it would be it's controlling the nervous system of the host from a distance.
It's like literally puppeteering
Exactly.
through. Cool.
Exactly. Now,
Cool.
if you want to add a momentum, I'll give you more information.
We're going for it. I feel like I'm
Yeah.
playing
Yeah. Okay.
Miami's. It's okay.
So, the information that you get, that's the base information. The added momentum is you're fairly certain that if you were below the ion field, you would, within probably 50 meters, be able to exactly locate where this signal's coming from. Because, and it's a pulse, it's not like a constant signal, but what it appears to be happening is it's emanating from the planet's surface. It's hitting this ion field and it's like wide broadcasting. And so what
Wi-Fi.
exactly. But here's,
Planet Wi-Fi.
but the kicker,
Planet Wi-Fi.
right, exactly. The kicker is what the momentum spin and then what the complication is the momentum spin tells you that this, when it hits this ion field, it's emitting this pulse not just onto the ship, which would be the O'Reilly, which is attached like flypaper to this thing, but it's also emitting it into space, almost as if it's trying to find a reception somewhere. So it's like it's sending out like a feeler, like what they call a tickler, it's trying to find something that will connect. So it's like like a Wi-Fi trying to connect. Complication. Now you roll 2 complications, which a single complication is just kind of an annoyance. A 2 complication that's kind of bad. And what that means is it should affect you. And anytime a complication is rolled, I can actually add to the complication by spending a threat, which I do. So instead of a 2 complication, it is now a 3 complication. You come to the horrifying realization that in this scan, you realize that on a cellular level, you and both Gideon are being minutely affected and very likely have been infected.
Oh. So you're saying our tests are going to come back positive. That's what you're saying. I got it. Do I feel that?
You do not. It's purely based off of not only just the data that you have, but the theoretical model that Gideon's working up, and you're like extrapolating, like you're like taking it to its furthest course, and you're like, yeah, that's exactly what's going on, because you don't feel it, but you know that there's something in your nervous system that's reacting to this.
Okay.
Wow.
Frankie's starting to like sweat. She's starting to get super nervous. She's like, we have to go to the doctor. We have to go to the sick bay. Am I sick? Do I look sick? Does my frontal cortex look bigger or smaller?
started
Yours looks
getting-
fine.
Okay. You just started getting really sweaty and a little red, and you're breathing kind of weird. Everything okay?
Yep. We just okay, just a couple things. We definitely need to get to the surface because it's pretty much our only chance to figure out where this thing exactly is coming from once we get past the ion fields. But also, based on all of this data, we might be infected and also starting to pick up some of these pulses, and maybe it might get worse. I don't know. We should check with the doctor to see how fast this might progress. But yeah, we should go or not. Maybe we could take a sick day. I don't know. What should we?
Well, I think I would be a slightly worse engineer if I turned into silicone. So, yeah, maybe loop the doctor in. But I wonder if there's something with this data. This is all very interesting, but I'm wondering if we can, I don't know, reverse engineer or something to get us maybe locked out of the pulses?
You wanna hack the planet?
The virus.
I want to hack it. Or at least maybe create a shield. Like a hat.
Sure. Yeah. Frankie's like, yeah. She's like walking away from the sensor, backing up, trying to like figure out the closest, fastest path to the where the dock is.
At this point, we know where it's coming from on the planet, right?
I think generally speaking, yes.
Okay. GM, do we know where it is?
You know, like what, like basic hemisphere it's coming from. But once the ion field is it's scrambling everything. But once you get below the ion field, you should be able to zero in on it pretty quickly.
Okay, so once we go through the ion field, we should be fine. I don't want to teleport, though, so we're probably going to have a spacecraft go through it, which means I'm probably going to have to mess with the shields on the spacecraft, the shuttlecraft.
Second time's a charm.
Second time's a charm. Well, it worked the first time. And, okay, so why don't you go tell the doctor, and I'll go get into the guts of the shuttlecraft and make sure we can get through the ion field and maybe, mess with the stabilizers of the controlling if the commander's going to be at the helm again. Okay, I'll be there. So Gideon's going to head down to where the shuttlecraft is and see if she can make some modifications.
Okay. All right. That's just a basic engineering roll. You know what to look for. You know what you're trying to do. So it's just going to be a difficult. Well, I mean, it's still not going to be easy. So let's do difficulty 1, but with a complication rating of 2. So instead of complication on a 20, it's complication on 1920.
Oh, hold on. So I got to add a little
Yep.
red dot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I can add my focus, right?
Yes, you may.
Okay. Well,
wanna-
let's see what happens here.
3 successes.
Generated 2 momentum.
There you go. So, all right. So you're working on that, and it will be ready to go when the away team is ready to go.
Right.
And
So-
then, go ahead.
I want to make sure the shields are all set up to make sure. And if there's anything with that data to help that. But I also want to mess with the controls of the, make sure that the, the steering's just a little easier or it's a little bit more responsive.
You're trying to give the commander a little boost to their piloting skill.
I want to make sure the emergency brake works.
Sure.
If you just to make it so that it's not sticky or weird or gummy or anything. Just
no problem.
Perfect flight simulator issue.
Got it. I'll tell you what. Spend one of those momentum you earned in the modifications, and we'll say that you do that.
Done.
All right.
So kind, but he can never know.
Man.
All right.
Chat, I have done nothing but complain about that roll since it happened. I need you to know it was not me. I did everything I could. Stupid.
All right. So, Frankie, you make your way back to sickbay.
I don't even know. Doc, results back yet? Find anything? anything on those results? I know you perked us earlier. I thought this seemed a little like a formality, but anything there? Anything there at all?
Is there something you need to tell me, Lieutenant? Are you feeling all right?
Feeling fine, surprisingly. Micropulses, all the data. We went to the sensors. We might be kind of being picked up, me and Gideon, and so it might seem that we have been infected. Possibly, probably. I think so. Definitely. Yeah. So
It's going to be all right. Just have a seat right here. I'm going to take a look at the sample that I got earlier and see what the lab says, and we'll check you out, all right? Don't worry about it.
okay. Great.
Probably getting you early will help us, and it might give us some insight into what happened to the rest of the crew and an idea about how to help them. So this is perfect.
Well, for science, I love it. I'm happy to do that.
Yeah.
Also, Gideon also too, but she's gone and also doesn't seem to care. So probably fine.
So I think Dr. Davis is going to casually find someone in security
Okay, sure.
and say, I need you to do me a favor. Lieutenant Salt is working on our only shuttle that is left. And I need you to, when she's done, escort her up here for just a few tests. Just let her know I just need to do a few tests.
Yes, doctor.
Thank you.
And security walks off.
I don't envy that officer.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I guess I'm going to try and look at the samples and figure out what's going on with them.
Okay. All right. So that's going to be a medicine roll, whatever attribute you wish. And let's say certainly infectious diseases would apply for focus.
Yes, I have an infectious disease focus. Conveniently. All right, I'm going to use reason
Okay.
and medicine.
Okay.
Sound good? Okay. And let's see. Can you remind me? So the 2 green on the first line, that's the number of dice.
Mm-hmm.
The red one below, what is that?
That's the complication rating. So
Okay.
with it being 1, that means you have a complication on a 20, a roll of a 20. If it were
Okay.
2, then it would be 19 or 20.
Gotcha. What is my DC for the roll?
This DC, let's find out what you exactly are you trying to do. Are you just trying to analyze the data? Or are you trying to come up with something,
Well, step 1 is to see if I see indications that they have the virus.
Okay.
If that is in fact what's going on. So, just need data at this point.
Okay, so that at this point, that is going to be DC 0.
Okay, awesome. All right, so I click on my focus and then I roll.
There you go. You got 3 successes, so you generate, because it's DC 0, you generate 3 momentum. So you cap out the momentum pool.
Nice.
All right, so
How do I?
is it not doing it for you?
There we go.
Oh,
there we go.
All right. So, analyzing the data, you determine, in fact, yes, they are in the very, very, Lieutenant Carmichael is in the very, very early stage of this infection. It hasn't affected her physiologically yet, because essentially it's just the
Replicating.
It's in a replication cycle. So
Okay.
the body has been in contact with it. It's in the incubation stage. So
Okay.
and as rapidly as this works, you can estimate that probably within the next 12 to 18 hours, she will start showing first signs of problems.
Okay. So she has about 12 to 18 hours before that happens. Do I think that there is a way for me to, I'm going to say, biologically engineer her immune system to be able to better combat this virus, like to recognize it and try to combat it. To, if not stop it, slow it down.
Right. So either a full vaccine or something at least to slow it down considerably. You certainly can. That would also be your infectious diseases focus, or even your genetics focus. Still medicine, and then whatever attribute you want. Now, this is going to be a DC 3.
Okay, I'm going to use a lot of momentum. I'm just going to use all the momentum that I just generated.
Yeah, you can use up to 3 momentum to give yourself 5 dice.
Okay,
Hell yeah.
that's what we're doing. All
Wow.
right, 1,
Let's
2,
do it.
3. All right. I'm
Well, this
using
is good because if you do this now, then we could potentially just have it ready, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like having somebody in the early stages versus having samples from somebody in the later stages is kind of giving her a better idea of what's happening.
I have a quick question. Kujera has a quick question. Did we figure out how this is spread?
You told me last time, I think that it was like body fluid, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So it could have been in the fight.
Okay,
They were kind of, yeah.
good to know. Thank you.
There
There
was
was a lot of
tumbling
screaming.
and
Yeah.
there's-
Yeah, there was tumbling. There was rolling down like
down ramps.
and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
All right. DC 3, 5 dice, yes to focus.
Correct.
And I'm using medicine and reason.
Okay,
Okay.
go for it. 5 successes. So you generated 2 points of momentum.
Yay!
All right. So, yes, because Lieutenant Carmichael is in the very, very early stage, you figure that you could boost her immune response to fight it, and as a matter of fact, use that data to replicate a vaccine. It will take time. The computer will actually have to like formulate it.
Yeah.
So you probably within the next 6 hours or so, you could actually come up with a vaccine.
Okay. She's going to direct her staff to just make sure that Frankie and Gideon are comfortable. They can please enjoy the bed and relax. And then she will be working in the lab with her team trying to make this happen as quickly as possible. And she occasionally goes in and checks on them.
Okay.
And that's about it.
Okay,
Are we
but-
strapping Gideon down or
yeah,
what's
can I? But I want to go to the planet.
Oh, I guess I'm not going yet because I need my
There's-
doctor too.
Cool stuff down there that I want to do.
Well, don't worry. In 6 hours, you can go.
Oh, nuts.
All right, so we can just fast forward. Unless Kujera, you want to press the issue. I mean, the time frame is narrowing because the longer the captain's down there, the longer they're in. Because you've also got to factor into this, and this is something that Sivak, once you let's say you're having a staff briefing of like your top staff, and Sivak says. That's all well and good, Doctor, but assuming that the captain has been exposed for however much longer, and is potentially continually being exposed, do we have that much time to wait?
Well, based on what I've been able to determine, changes don't begin to happen until somewhere in the 12 to 18 hour range. I'm not exactly sure where are we in that time frame, Eric?
I would say, well, I mean, you're certainly not like 18 hours. Now, as for like full recovery of like or full reversal of the O'Reilly crew, the longer you wait, the less likely they will be to be able to recover from this.
So we need to send someone right away to get the O'Reilly crew because
All right.
they're so far along.
All right. Did we get any word back from Starfleet? Are they sending anything?
Yes, they're sending a medical frigate and also another Constitution starship to help with transport of the O'Reilly crew and also to treat with anything, and especially with the data that Dr. Davis can provide, they can be working on these things too.
Okay. Quick questions, and then I'm pretty sure we're going to jump. So, how far are they out?
They will be here in about 4 hours.
Okay, not too bad. If I were to beam some engineer officers over to the ship, one, would they be pretty safe because the door closed after or not? And two, would they be able to fix the ship to bring it back to like start?
You're talking about the shuttlecraft you left over there?
Yeah, the Helens. Yeah.
With the infected crew over there, you would be sending them over with infected crew potentially all over the place.
Yeah, okay, so scratch that idea. All right, here's what we're going to do. Lieutenant Salt, Lieutenant Carmichael, as long as you feel that you are up for it, I'm going to request that you come with me down to the planet.
Yeah.
Because we cannot wait any longer. We're going to wait for the Constitution class to come with the medical frigate, and we're going to have them take care of the O'Reilly, at least until we get back. And at that point, we can also head over and fix the Helens. He's going to turn to Seaback, and he's going to say, continue getting all medical bays and rooms ready for a lot of people.
Yes, Commander.
And, all right, with that, we're going to head down.
All right. So we are now cutting to the shuttlecraft. Now, what's the name of the other shuttlecraft?
It is the Denali.
Denali. So we see the Denali depart the Sequoyah and head now towards the ion field, and the sparks are flying around the ship, but the shields are holding. So essentially, all I'm going to need from you, Commander, is a con check, and you can use whatever attribute you want. Small craft focus does apply here.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a good thing I have my focus in small crafts to fly things. I guess
also have momentum.
reason. No
Oh, yeah,
control.
lots of momentum.
Thank
Yep,
you. I'll use the momentum.
Okay.
So I guess control and con
Okay.
makes the most
All right.
sense. And then,
Normally this was going to be a DC 2, but the controls are very reactive to how you're flying, almost intuitively. So we'll make
Wow.
it a DC 1.
okay. No, I didn't mean to add. Darn it. Wait, did I add? No.
What are we doing? Oh, there you go. Mm-hmm.
Wait.
Yep.
How do I?
And then
Okay,
you
I'm
used
using
it.
that.
Yep.
All right,
And
and I'm
then-
rolling.
Oh, you forgot to add the extra dice. So go ahead
Oh,
and
darn
click your number of dice to just 1 instead of the 3.
3. Oh, just 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
So erase 2 of them and just roll another dice. There you go. Okay. So you got the
Cool.
1 success. That's what you needed. All right. So the shuttlecraft, it's the lights are flickering, and everybody's doing the side to side shake. As the shuttlecraft pierces through this ion field, and you see this very desolate planet's surface. It was I think we determined it was a class. I can't remember what it was. It was a class.
I wrote it somewhere.
It was not class M. I thought it was class K.
Oh no, class M.
No, class M is Earth-like. This
Oh,
is
that's
the one
what
with
I wrote.
domes.
K. It's K.
Yep. So
Oh no,
yeah.
that was the nearest one. You're right. That was the other nearest.
So yeah, it's a class K planet. So the surface itself is not breathable, and then when you pierce through it, so the atmosphere is kind of hazy. You see this rocky terrain, or very rocky and sandy terrain, and your sensors kick on, and both Gideon and Frankie have had the sensors like ready to go as soon as you pierce the ion field to try and locate the source of this signal, and it immediately pops on. You know exactly where it is, and you fly into that direction. And as you approach, like I said, it's a very like a grayish brown surface, rocky, sandy surface. And as you get closer to where this signal originated, you see a very large sand-covered pyramid.
Huh.
Suddenly, Star Trek turns into Stargate.
I mean, Kujera is based off of... Okay, anyway. That's fun.
I mean, I don't know that we need our sensors to tell us that that's
Well,
where
yes.
we should be going.
I mean, when you finally see it visually, it's like, oh well, that's obvious. But
Right.
yeah, but you had a whole planet to try and find
Yeah.
that where that came from. All right, so how close to this pyramid do you want to set down?
Okay. Does it look like there's any, I'm assuming, man-made like landing strips near it? Any sort of
There's not like a spaceport or anything like that. I mean, even
or just like a road or something that was built near it? Does it look like it was very terraformed or?
No. It looks pretty blasted, and just well, you know what? How about how about your science officer do a sensor check? That would be a science and whatever attribute you want to use there, Lieutenant Carmichael.
I'll do science and control.
Okay. It's a basic sensor sweep. Unless you wanted if you're looking for anything like specific or anything like that, then it would be a DC 2. But other than that, it's just going to be a DC 1.
Can I can I also look for like can I look for any of our crew around this area as well?
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and make it a DC 2.
Okay.
And that will give you more information.
Life signs.
Use momentum.
Momentum. I will use momentum. Don't have to ask me twice. Does my experimental biotechnology still apply in this case?
Not really, because you're looking for it's not experimental. Yeah, I don't think one of your focuses actually apply. Not in this
Got
case.
Okay. I'm gonna roll it. Cross my fingers.
3 successes, generating a momentum.
Just cut it. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, cool.
Okay, so here's what you get. There is from circling around it, and you get a good sensor sweep of it. You determine that there is a point of entry that very likely you get the sensor data tells you that not only has this entry point recently been damaged, but it appears to have been phasered open. And you detect 2 human life forms deep within this pyramid.
Ah.
And
All right.
if you want to spend another momentum, I will give you more information.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm gonna do it. I love information.
All right. The other thing that you get is that you are picking up other points or like blips, very similar to what you got in the from the O'Reilly, and so it's like these partial life forms are just kind of phasing in and out of of your sensor sweep. The other thing is there is something in there that it's generating a massive amount of power, but is seemingly still in a dormant state. So even in its sleep mode, it's generating a massive amount of energy.
I wonder if the ion shield's coming from that.
So they took another shuttlecraft down, right? We had 3.
They beamed down.
They
They
beamed
beamed down. You're right. They beamed down. Well,
Just to be clear, the flickering in and out is completely separate from the 2 human life forms that I detect in the
Correct.
area. Cool. I guess Frankie will just relay that I think maybe getting it closer to the pyramid might be in our advantage so that we can get inside of it faster. But other than that,
Okay. Let us try that then. I will try to get as close as possible.
Okay. Unless you're doing
Without-
something funky, just landing it within like walking distance of this entry point is you don't even have to roll.
Oh, okay, cool.
If
Thank
you're
God.
gonna do something crazy like try and thread the needle and like fly into it, then that would have been something. But no, just landing it, you're fine. And yes, the planet's surface is not breathable. You will have to have masks on, but luckily it's not toxic where you have to wear like full on like decon suits or anything like that.
oh, quick question: we're expecting 3 crew members, right? The security
Yeah.
officer. as
Oh,
well?
yep, you're right. My bad. I will.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I was like,
I
are we
thought
having a
you-
funeral or?
You killed him. I thought you just went ahead and said he was dead.
Yes. Well, yeah. As a matter of fact, it was. There should be 4, because it's the security officer. It was the 2 captains, the security officer,
you're right.
and the doctor that went down
And
with.
the doctor. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's.
how
there's
how
4.
many?
There's a total of 4.
Okay, thank God.
Or bodies.
No one's died.
No one
Four
has died.
bodies.
Yes. No one has been plot killed yet.
I know the yet. I know, but
Yay.
All right, so setting down, and like I said, once the shuttle, you debark the shuttlecraft, you can see the side of this pyramid, and you can see that the one side that you're facing totally has an arch. That looked like it had at one time had been like blocked up, like walled off, and you can see very clearly that somebody just phaser cut this whole thing open and just it collapsed, so they could get in. And then you just see a dark corridor going into this pyramid.
all right. We are all suited up. Everyone has their phasers on stun. And Kujera will take the lead.
Alrighty. All right.
As we leave, Gideon's just gonna pat the little shuttlecraft and be like, "Yeah."
All right. So as you're walking, walking,
Home stuff?
stepping out of the archway, this darkened archway, this figure steps out, not wearing a mask, not wearing any kind of suit, is in like this fur top with like this disheveled purple shirt, and just kind of comes stumbling towards you. Oh, hello.
Hello?
Have you come to pay homage to Yann? All are welcome.
Oh,
Are you weary, travelers?
Yes,
Kind of.
it's been quite a journey. We're actually looking for some comrades of ours.
Oh. Are they lost?
To us.
Well, if you wish to consult Yann, I can take you.
Is Yann in the pyramid?
He turns and looks back behind him and looks back at you and says, "Why, yes."
Ha! It's over yonder.
He's just like blank smiling at you. Yes.
Okay.
I am
Well,
I am Urash.
Hi, Rash.
who are
I'm
you?
Gideon.
Gideon.
oh, geez.
Urash, have you seen anyone else on this planet?
Besides you?
Yes.
His eyes kind of flicker for a moment and he says, "There have been others." Yes. Would you care to see them?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, then follow me. And he just starts skipping towards the opening.
I like
This way,
him.
this way.
We forgot to pack an offering, but oh well.
That is the least of my worries for right now. Okay. He's going to turn to Dr. Davis and be like, we have to go in, right?
Oh, you're muted.
Oh, you're on mute.
Yes, I think so.
Okay,
Listen,
fine.
I'm not really sure. So, GM, what did he look like? What?
Well, he's got a little
race,
picture.
what- Yeah, is he humanoid-ish?
Oh, so you're going to like do your medical tricorder on him as he's walking away? Oh, yeah.
Silicone-y-ish.
Yeah, go ahead. That would be, let's see here. That would be medicine and then whatever attribute you want. You're using a medical tricorder, so that'll give you an extra dice to your roll.
All right. I'll use control in medicine.
Okay.
And so I have 3 dice. Is that what you said?
Yep. So using control, you're being very precise about it.
I'm not sure if triage or emergency medicine is a focus.
Well, let's see here. Triage would be to determine what level of injury, emergency medicine. No, none of those really apply.
Okay. All right. DC 1?
Yes.
Okay.
Nice. 3 successes, generating 2 momentum.
Awesome.
This is a hologram.
Oh.
That makes sense.
So, Commander, that's actually that's actually a hologram, not a person. So,
Which would make sense since he's out here in the atmosphere. Well, I guess he could have been built for. Anyway. All right. We're going to continue in, I guess.
So he turns and says, "Come this way, this way, this way." And says, Yann is expecting you. He's been calling, and you've answered. We are so happy.
Okay, that raises a flag. I'm drawing a flag.
Urash, who is Yann?
Yann is the god of the pyramid, the savior of the Yanni.
Urash, are you Yanni?
He stops and kind of like he hadn't considered it. He says, "I believe I am. Are you? You do not look Yanni, but that doesn't matter. It is more a way of life."
Great. Well, Urash, if you would be so kind as to first show us to the other travelers before we meet Yann.
They're speaking with Yann now.
Okay, yeah, let's go do that then.
All right.
One quick question before we go. Why is Yann calling, and what are they calling for?
You'll have to ask Yann that. That's a Yann level question.
Right.
Great.
This way. Not much farther now.
I wonder what he'll tell us.
All right.
So Gideon is going to be staying slightly behind the commander and is not going to be walking ahead, although you can tell that she is vibrating with an intense desire to get her hands on this power structure. But she is trying to learn lessons.
Wow. Oh. Oh?
I like how our captain's
don't like
in the
that.
corner.
Yeah,
Baby's
don't
in the
like-
corner.
Right.
I don't. Okay. I like the Y that's for Yann.
Yeah, it's Yann.
That's fun.
So just so we're clear, we want to try and disrupt this communication source, correct?
Yeah, we're gonna want to do that immediately.
Hack the planet? Yeah, I think so.
All right. So as
Yes,
you are
hack the planet.
you're being led down this very, very dark corridor, and you have light sources or whatever. Actually, not. Let's say that as you're making your way down this dark corridor, lights are like slowly kicking on, and they are like old and janky, so it's almost like so like every third one just kind of goes and kicks out.
Pyramid office building. Hell
Yes. And so then you are led down into this this open chamber that has these looks like these stone benches on the floor. So the like where you see the captain is in the corner, he's actually in like a corner on a corner bench, and then you see this stair step dais in the middle there, and then in the very middle you see Captain Shen, and Captain Shen is like laying up against this dais, not like like laying across. She's more like she like got as that far and then just kind of like her strength gave out, so she's kind of like half on half off this dais. And then in the middle, let me do some sharing here. You see this.
Please wait.
It's a big
Yeah,
one.
that's what I see.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, oh.
Gideon's eyes are huge.
So
Oh,
yeah, you see this
like that.
chrome at the very top. It's just this. It's just these chrome conduits and things like that attached to this onyx ball.
The orb.
Oh.
Is that
And so
Yann?
so as you're walking in, you see that like I said, this onyx ball is sitting there, and there's every once in a while you see a little like motes of energy just kind of like cascading off of it and then going down these conduits, and that's when you notice like some of the motes of energy are dancing along one of these conduits, and you see that one of these conduits is actually plugged into Captain Shen's head.
Look at it.
And then
It's incredible.
And then Urash says, "Behold, Yann, I have brought you more guests." And the orb just kind of rotates a little bit, and then this very droning, low voice says, "Welcome."
Oh.
What
boy.
are you doing to the captain?
Says, "I am protecting. It is my function. Do you wish to assimilate also?"
Kujera's gonna turn to Salt and be like, what is going on?
All right. Gideon's eyes are like cartoon hearts. Her mouth is open. She's looking at this giant computer and all of these wires and tubes and computing. This is the coolest thing she's ever seen. But she also understands the importance and the look the commander is giving her. So she's going to try and rein it in just a little bit. The like font of approval and also warning from the hallway kind of vaguely flickering in the back of her head. Can she see or understand anything about how this thing works or what it is?
So this would be maybe it certainly would be engineering. And experimental technologies, not really. It's not really experimental. It's more of an ancient technology. So
Well, is it a power system?
it is that. So yeah, you can add that focus into it.
Okay.
Do any of your values play into this, where you could spend determination on a roll?
Let's see. Well, I feel like it's enacting one of her values, which is you're never alone when you can make your own robot friends. Unfortunately, the robot friends they're trying to make are also the captain. Huh.
So would you say that this challenges that value?
I guess maybe it's Gideon's really used to making things work, but this is a really weird, perverted way to do that.
Okay.
So maybe a challenge.
Okay. So what we could say is, if you're going to challenge this, and this is where the chat can play into this, especially those of you who have ran Star Trek before, because I'm going to make a judgment call based off of what I think is right. If you challenge a value, you may still use determination on it, but then that value is scratched, and then you have to you either have to come up with a new value, or you have to figure out like how to. You wouldn't be able to apply it for the rest of the adventure, basically.
Yeah, no, I'm into it.
Okay, so you're like, oh yeah, it's making its own robot friends, but I need to stop it. That really messes with my value. So
Yeah.
okay, so we'll say that you can certainly apply determination to this role.
Okay.
What are you trying to accomplish?
I am trying to figure out what its process is, or I guess if it's a program, like, is it a computer? Is it a sentient alien? Is it engineering? Is it, there's so many possibilities, and Gideon just wants to find out what it is.
Okay, so you're just going to try and as accurately as you can identify exactly what Yann is. That's no problem. Yep, that would certainly apply. You can use determination. You can use focus on it to completely and accurately determine what this is. I'm going to say it is a difficulty 4.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna hold on.
Use everything.
I gotta move the battle mapper aside. Okay. So I use a focus.
Mm-hmm.
And then for determination, do I add another die?
You would the little dice button where it says determination. You've got the 3 dots and then the 3 empty dots. You would click that dice button next to it, and that would apply it. There you go. And then that automatically gives you another dice. So then you can spend 2 momentum to add 2 more dice to your pool.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
Okay. There you go.
All right. And then I have 5 dice that I'm rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Holy hell. Okay, and it's DC 4, right?
It is DC 4, correct.
Okay.
Your target is 17. 5s and below count as 2 successes. 5 successes.
Thank goodness. Wow.
So yeah, you generated a momentum on that roll.
Nice.
All right. So here's what you find out. You're analyzing this with with a tricorder. You're like, what exactly is this? The first thing you determine is that Yann itself is certainly some sort of like ancient alien AI. Very likely was some sort of like a support, in some sort of support role for whatever civilization it came from, and that it is so old that its primary function was to care for whatever, the Yann or the Yanni. But it is currently in what appears to be some sort of a loop, because essentially it has identified an anomaly and is constantly trying to keep it quarantined. And that is taxing it so much that almost all of its power is going towards trying to isolate and just isolate this particular something that's wrong with it. And just based off of that, you determine that very likely, because it was generating it was probably like supporting the population of this planet, and then something happened where it had to start to focus inward to protect itself, that very likely the ecosystem and whatever it was supporting wasn't supported anymore, and very likely became extinct.
Okay, but this was probably a long time ago, right?
Yeah, very, very long ago.
Okay. All right.
And that's just
So-
based off of what you're like, this is its primary function, blah, blah, blah. But you also determine that it is very intelligent, and you could even, it is receptive to verbal communication. Obviously, you could even ask it questions, and you get the impression that it is not, it is incapable of lying.
Cool. Okay. So do I think that the quarantine thing is the ion shield?
Possibly. At least it's keeping something in.
Okay. So, hi, Yann. I'm Gideon. I love everything that's happening here. So from what I can pick up, you had some sort of problem, some sort of anomaly that you're trying to focus in on, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
The anomaly, the malevolent intruder, attempted to destroy Yann. I have it contained, but I am failing.
Okay, and is the intruder here?
It is within me.
It is within you. Is it like a virus?
That would be an accurate description.
Okay. So I'm kind of good at stuff with computers and with fixing things. Would you mind if I took a look, see if I could maybe help you?
That is not possible. My safeguards prevent any tampering from without or within.
Well,
I am containing the intruder. I cannot.
Oh,
Salt.
a little bit
Is-
of a loop there. Okay.
Salt. Is this where the virus is coming from? Do you think?
That's a good question. So, what I'm picking up here, and I will ask the GM to correct me if I'm wrong, but okay, so this guy is really old, really, really old, and there was a population here at some point, but Yann, if I'm correct here, those guys are all gone.
Urash is the last remainder.
All right. Okay. So Urash is the last remainder, but Urash is also a hologram. So, so that's all gone now. So that must have been a really long time ago because we saw no traces of it besides the pyramid. So, there's an intruder. The malevolent intruder is probably a virus that is infecting poor Yann over here. And internally, there's stuff going on where they're trying to contain it. Hey, Yann, are you emitting any sort of signals that would mess with people's brain chemistry, make their, internal bits turn to other different substances that are not native to their internal bits?
Affirmative.
Okay.
That is because of the intruder. The intruder is controlling that aspect of my being.
Okay.
Okay,
That's
so-
the virus.
These are the sorts. Okay, great.
Doc, does your vaccine work on computers? Is that possible? Did you bring a big syringe, maybe?
Well, perhaps with a little bit of, I don't know, engineering, we could see if there's some way to, I don't know, is this backward compatible? I have no idea.
Well, good thing is you have an engineer. Okay, wait, so you can't have anything sort of muck with you, but could you implement something yourself if we walked you through it, Yann?
Perhaps. And then you see Captain Shin she reacts to a little bit of the energy pulsing into her. And he says, this unit is satisfactory for my needs. This
No.
unit has an anomaly amongst themselves. that will assist me.
Okay, but she's sick and she didn't consent to that. And we're really big on consent. So, what is it that you need?
That is not her. And Kujera's gonna start walking forward a bit.
Okay. All right. Yann says, I do not understand.
I need a recap on what is the captain sick with again?
Fungus.
Yes.
Fungus! She's sick with a fungus! Wait, doctor!
Wait,
Yes.
Hold on. There's like some sort of. Wait, hold on. I took
Yeah,
notes.
her illness is helping the machine combat the other virus.
Right.
are we gonna make computer penicillin? Can we make computer penicillin?
Okay, yeah. So, because she's got some sort of space fungus.
Yes.
Hugh syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's all I wrote because it was medical stuff and Gideon didn't care about that.
Yes.
Let me dig through my notes. Flip.
Okay. While they're doing that, Kujera wants to step forward and see where everyone else is, because we only see two.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Well, no, I didn't even see my captain yet. I didn't see Max yet, so we only see one.
Yeah.
Then-
So yeah, when you step onto this bench, you like step up onto this bench, you can actually see Max to the north there. Are you not seeing him?
Yes.
Yeah, now I see him.
Okay. So you step.
I mean, he's been there, but now Kujera sees him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you see Max, and he appears to be unconscious. And but you don't see any of the other crew members.
Okay, well, I'm gonna run over
Or
there.
if they're silicone.
Okay.
So, Lieutenant Salt,
Uh-huh.
she has Hugh syndrome, which is a fungal infection that is a disease that causes a rare form of autoimmune lymphoma. So it's an anomaly in her immune system, essentially, a blood-borne disease.
Huh.
So I'm not really sure how this would affect this. I'm not sure how this entity interfaces with a life form such as her.
Yeah. Also, Yann, is it the actual, is it the effect that's happening? Or is it the actual, the effect, or is it the actual blood that you're looking for?
This unit has internal workings that are hazardous to the intruder.
Okay. So we need to give the AI cancer.
Hugh syndrome.
Mm.
Lymphoma. A blood infection.
Everything's data at the end of the day. I mean,
Yeah.
All right, well, here's all the information that I have on Hugh syndrome. Could you possibly engineer something?
Yeah, maybe the kid and I can come something up with your bioscience stuff and the doc's data and my engineering. If we told it to you, Yann, I won't have to mess with anything, so you don't have to shock me or kill me or anything. You could maybe implement it yourself.
Yann says,
And-
not acceptable.
Oh,
And then it says, my function is to survive. My function is to protect. I cannot protect. I cannot function. The intruder will not allow me to not function. You, and then it stops, and then you must destroy me. And then that's when the black orb turns red,
oh no.
and it says, you must leave now. And then it and it's a completely different voice.
Oh,
Fun.
So we are entering into the last task, which is shutting down Yann. So
Cool.
the way that this is going to work is, let's do this. Bloop bloop bloop. Right, there we go.
Oh, Suresh just left.
Should be back now.
Okay.
Yep. So what happens is, from the wall, these benches, they open up, and you see these silicon-based. I'm using the O'Reilly crew as the art for this, but they are fully like silicon beings, almost like mannequin looking, and they just kind of rigidly like stand up out of this opening up case within these benches, and they just kind of start shambling towards you. And then these tendrils of these conduits, some of them like detach from Yann, and there's like arcing energy coming from them, and they're like swirling around it. So the way this is going to do is Yann has essentially an ancient firewall protecting it. You're going to have to hack that. And then, so that's going to be a science computers check. Engineer can then, once you've hacked through it, can initiate the shutdown command. But all the while, Yann is trying to defend itself. So the way that's going to work is those of you who are, you can either engage in the creatures coming at you. There's going to be a tendril that's going to be actively trying to assimilate you. And then the others are going to have to do their science and nerdy stuff.
Okay, cool. Who goes first?
Well, the player characters always go first unless I spend threat to go first, and I will not. So whichever player character wants to go first may go first.
Well,
All right, and so to give you for meta information, the magnitude of this is 5. So that means you need 5 successes to get a point of work effort on this. The difficulty is going to be 2. So all of your rolls are going. This is when it comes to the science and the engineering rolls. You're going to need 5 successes total, not at once. The difficulty is going to be 2, and then. Once you've achieved the magnitude, then you've done it. The problem is the resistance is 3, so I get to subtract 3 from your 6 from your work roll, and we'll go through all of that. But that's just essentially on a meta level. That's kind of what's happening for the people watching. So who wants to go first?
I can, Gideon, feeling momentarily bad about her new friend Yann that she's going to have to shut down, but so excited to get her hands on this thing and get kind of into the guts of it, can probably launch herself at what's closest to a panel and start working on it.
Okay.
So I can use control and engineering, and I have a focus in computers.
Yep.
And I have intense scrutiny, which is a task. Using control, I can ignore 2 resistances.
There you go.
Which is great. And then, well, I don't have that value anymore, but I'm gonna use a determination.
Okay, great.
And
which value does this apply to?
Could be sometimes it's easier to ask for forgiveness than
That's
permission.
certainly true. Certainly true.
Sorry, Yann. So I'll lean into that one.
Okay.
And let's see. Let's use a momentum.
Okay.
Let's just go all in. It's the last mission.
Yep.
All right, so I'll add a die, DC 2. Oops, not DC 5. That would be very bad.
Yep.
And I'll roll.
7 successes.
Good
So you generate 5 momentum. So you can. So you're capped out at momentum on 6. All right. So with a engineering of 5, roll 5d6.
Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh my, those are all good. So that's an effect. So that reduces your resistance. You said with an effect, every effect reduces the resistance 2.
I believe so. Hold on. It says I may ignore up to 2 resistance for every effect rolled.
For every effect rolled, and you rolled 1 effect. So you ignore 2 of the resistance. So so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You ended up getting 6 work done. You ignore 2 of it, so you end up with 5 work done. So yeah, you successfully hack through. You've got the shutdown command ready to go. All it takes now is for Frankie to cut through the firewall. That's all you're waiting for.
Snip a wire.
Wow.
Just press a button. Execute.
we got to make the hacker man I'm in with Gideon.
Right. All right. So the way it works is with initiative now is it is now the opponent's turn unless you spend 2 momentum to have another PC go.
Spend that S.
All right. So go ahead and spend the 2 momentum. Gideon, you were the last one to go, so you get to you're the one that spends it.
Oh, I spent it. Okay.
Mhm.
Boo doo doo doo. Map. Map.
Okay, and then you designate who gets to go next.
Well, I'm a little concerned about all of the tentacles and such, so maybe Commander goes next.
Okay.
All right.
So I have each one of these guys as a tentacle.
Well, each one is essentially a silica. What do they call? What were they calling them?
Silicombies.
Silicon. Yeah. So silicombies. The tentacles are just Yann itself. So you would just target
Okay.
Yann itself.
Okay. Well, I can't leave Max, who is still unconscious, right?
That is correct.
All right. So that's fine.
And he's got some weird goop on him. You're not quite certain how he got slimed, but he certainly did.
Okay. Is his shirt torn? Is he sexy?
Yeah. He's got a little tear on his shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know why I
Ass.
got so many Captain Maxwells and stuff on here.
Okay, so I will, whatever tentacle is closest to everyone working, I will aim at that.
Okay.
So
There we go.
let's see. And I think one of my focuses apply, which is, or one of my values actually, which is protect your crew.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm going to use a determination,
All right.
and I'm going to use. Oh, there's so many maps. Please go down. I'm going to use. No. Did I drag it? Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
That, and then okay. So that's a
So
2.
you should be now at 4 dice because you spent a determination
dice.
that added a dice, and then momentum added a dice. There you go.
Okay,
Don't
so
add
this is for my phaser.
Yeah. Drop your complication rating. You have it at 2. It should be only be at 1.
Oh,
There you go. Focus
and
does
then-
apply.
Okay, and then I should roll what attribute and what discipline for.
For phaser, it's
Shooting.
always security. It's control and security. That's for a
Okay.
phaser shot. And don't forget to click your there you go.
Okay.
Oof. So you got 3 successes. Problem is, you got 2 complications.
All right. That's his roll. Everybody knows.
All right. So
Okay.
so you certainly hit. You generated 2 momentum, which is nice. So go ahead and roll. Click where it says phaser type 2 on your weapons. Click the little dice there, and it'll roll your damage. I think you double click it.
Oh.
There it is. All right. So you did 4 damage to Yann. And then 2 effects, which If you spend 1 momentum, that'll make it 5 damage, which could affect it, give it a condition. So if you want to drop a momentum, that'll, instead of 4, you give it 5 stress damage.
Of course.
Go ahead and do that.
Always use momentum. That's what you got to take away from this game.
That's right. All right. So you hit it, and it's trying to protect itself, and one of the tendrils is like going for, we'll say it was going for Max, like trying to fully assimilate him, and you just shoot it, and it retreats back, and in doing so, it's going to lose its next action. So essentially, for the purposes of this, it would normally go next. But we'll say that it's going, because of your shot, player character can go again. So you don't have to spend the momentum or you wouldn't be able to, but normally, but we'll just say that because of your awesome shot, another player character can go again. That's what the effect is. The complication, though, is that when you shot it, it shattered the tendril, and now both you and Max are showered with these sparks and aren't able to see. Not like you're blind, just for the next round.
Okay. Well, he's passed out. He didn't even see anything.
Right, so he's not. Yeah, but if he woke up, he wouldn't know that it was you saving him.
Wow.
All right, so which PC do you want to go next? And that would be on you, Mers, because
it would be Carmichael. I would like Lieutenant Carmichael to go.
All right, so Frankie, it's all on you right now, because all you have to do is cut through the firewall, and Gideon will begin the shutdown sequence.
Sounds great. Really loosen that jar for me, Gideon. Appreciate it. Just pop the top off. Cool. So I'm thinking science and control.
Okay.
I don't have any computery thingies, unfortunately.
Right. You do not have. Yeah, you don't have a computer focus. Looking at your talents, though, it looks like you have a collaboration science, which means that whenever attempting to, you may spend 1 momentum immediate to allow them to score. That's when you're helping someone.
I'm helping.
Yeah, it's helping someone else.
People, yeah.
Let's see here. One of your values, I think we cannot succeed alone because this is a group task, would apply. So you could spend a determination on this if you wanted.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So
why not?
Click the button next to the determination there. So right now you're at DC 2, correct? You don't have a focus. And did it not apply that for you for whatever reason?
I clicked the green thing, not the die. Do I need to click the die?
Yes, click the die.
I do.
There you go.
I see it now.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. And
it's all built in.
do you want to spend any momentum you can spend up to 2 momentum to add up to 2 more dice to this roll.
I'll add 1 for sure.
Okay.
That sounds great.
All right. There you go.
I think this feels solid.
All right.
Just taking down the firewall.
That's right. What could go wrong?
Please don't screw this up.
5 successes, generating 3 momentum. The firewall drops, and Gideon, you inject this shutdown command, and in doing so, Yann goes. It was glowing red, and then it starts to fade, and it just says shutting down. Systems failing.
Sad. It's sad at the same time.
And then Urash is standing there and then is looking at the doctor and looks right at the doctor and says, "What happens to me?" As he starts to fade away.
There any chance that in that time that the commander was shooting things and Frankie was cutting things, that Gideon could have just, I don't know, memorize some code or
A flash drive.
put a flash drive in
Wait,
there?
before Gideon,
It's an AI. It's very cool.
before Gideon pulls something, do we still have to worry about the silicombies?
No, once Yann is completely shut down, the silicombies just kind of crumble.
Okay, wonderful.
Yes.
All right, now we can worry about Gideon.
What, pulling Gideon off of the
Right. So
I mean,
center?
so
if we don't
we're
see
Gideon was so good. She was so friendly to that new person, and she didn't jump out, and she wasn't crazy. Gideon's behaved for a whole 2.5 hours. I feel like that's, good. She gets a little ice cream cone, and the ice cream cone is an AI.
all right. So we're just about out of time. So the way we're going to wrap this
All right.
this episode,
we can discuss it, but we got to worry about NPCs.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Dr. Davis is going to rush over and try and help Captain Shin.
okay. So yes, Captain Shin is perfectly fine. It looked like yes, that this probe was it wasn't really it was drawing blood from her, but it wasn't like like draining her blood. It was more of it was like taking samples and analyzing her. So she's not really that bad off. She was just unconscious. Max he slowly starts to wake up, and he's just like, Cooge?
Max, are you okay?
Cooge,
Stop.
you came for me. And he's looking around. You totally came for me.
That was never a question.
He smiles. Good to know.
Where are, he says the names of the people?
All right, and as the conduits and everything are starting to like disintegrate and just kind of like just fall apart, like succumbing to age, you can see that on the dais itself, there you see the forms of the doctor and the commander.
Security.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. We didn't even have to have our red shirt come out.
You didn't.
We're
They're
good.
still in the shuttlecraft going ding ding.
Wonderful.
So yeah, and then you as soon as this all starts happening, your communicator goes off.
All right. Commander Mers.
All right, it's Sivak. Commander, we have you on our sensors now. It appears that the ion field has dissipated, and we are in full communications. We can begin beaming down if you need medical assistance, or beaming people up if you need.
Beaming up should be fine. We're good to go. Right? That's it?
Oh, yeah, take the shuttle back, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. However many we can't fit on the shuttle, or I gotta go take it back. It's fine. We can start heading out.
Okay, so the way we're going to wrap this episode and this mission is that once all of the conduits and everything just completely detach, you end up with this dais on the in this room, and this black onyx-looking ball just sitting on a pedestal on top of like a stone pedestal, and then laying underneath it is what appears to be the remains of something that was at one time biological, but yet it's like has mostly biological form, but what is once biological has become mostly silicon, but doesn't look like human in shape, more of a like a four-legged creature of some sort. But it's just like, so you essentially you're looking down at the like a wax mannequin of what this thing used to be.
So that's the intruder, right? That's
Yeah.
1 + 1 = 2.
Yes.
And the intruder is no longer in Yann. Commander, please let me take it. Please let me take it back. Please.
Oh, my lord. he's gonna look at Max. Like,
Max is like, "What's happening?"
oh God, look.
He just kind of he waves. He actually waves at Gideon and goes, "Yeah, whatever. Go ahead."
Gideon is going to run up to it, and before anybody can tell her no, she's going to put it in her bag. Ah, this is so cool.
All right. Yeah, no, Kujera will come right, like, as they're walking out, like, right next to her and be like, it is getting quarantined. You are getting checked after every time you deal with this. It is in its own room, never leaves it.
Okay.
Like, there will be protocols. You're telling Sivak.
Uh-huh. Oh.
So he'll just lay down the law.
Okay.
But then he says, but then he says to everyone, great job today. I really appreciate everything you've done.
All right. So we are out of time. So let's go around and let everyone know where you can be found. But before we do that, we have one other piece of business to handle, which is what hashtag are we going to use? We're giving away a free copy of the rule book. So for the next week, if you social media use this hashtag, then you will be entered into the drawing for it's the limited edition of the core rule book. So what do we think? And we can also get it from chat. So while everyone is doing their
Space fungus.
space fungus, that's an interesting hashtag. If that's
Character growth. I'm just looking.
Oh. So let's go ahead and go through and let everybody know where they can find you. We'll start. We'll go in rank order again. So with Commander Mers.
Hi, I'm Rihanna. I've been playing Commander Mers. You can find me at DIY Ferret on like everything. It's been a whole lot of fun playing this, and I hope you guys enjoyed it at least half as much as we enjoyed just running this.
Absolutely. Next, we have Dr. Davis.
Hi, everybody. My name is Leslie. I've been playing Dr. Davis. You can find me on Twitter at LeslieGMGirl, and on this channel, I believe next week on Monday, we have our final episode of Conan.
That's right.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's right. All right. And next we have Lieutenant Salt.
Hi, my name is Morgan. I've played Gideon. It was so much fun, and I've loved this, and I love playing with these wonderful group of people. You can find me on Twitter at ThistleRaven. You can also find me, I run the Taking Initiative Twitter, that is TI_pod. You can find Taking Initiative, which is an actual play 5e podcast, on anywhere where you can find a podcast. We're in the middle of our season 2 of Storm King's Thunder. We would love for you to check it out. And you can find me doing Conan stuff, where our final episode's going to happen. My poor baby Cornelia is going to grow up. Or not die, hopefully. Hopefully she doesn't die.
Who knows? All right. And last but not least is Lieutenant Carmichael.
Hello, I'm Brittany Leonagay. I've been playing Frankie Carmichael. It's been so much fun. I can be found on Twitter at Brittany Lee. I can be found on Instagram at Brittany Leonagay. I can be found playing games occasionally on Facebook at fb.gg/Brittany Games. Yep, that's right. I've changed it several times now. What else? And I do a D&D podcast, all femcast, and produced all ages D&D podcast called D20 Dames. New episodes are out every other Tuesday, including today. This has been an incredible amount of fun. And at the beginning, when the disclaimer happens, it says, some people have never played this system and also don't know anything about Star Trek. That's me. And I'm not that anymore. I feel like I know so much now. Thank you all for helping me through this system and through Star Trek. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. And I'm Eric, the GM. I also, as mentioned before, I GM the Conan stream on this channel, and also I am the GM for Resting Glitchface, the Shadowrun podcast. Thank you all for watching. We have determined that the looks like the hashtag is going to be hashtag Yann. So go out there in social media and just hashtag Yann, and you will be entered into the drawing for the deluxe edition of the core rule book, the physical deluxe edition. And also, it has been determined that this is not going to be a one-time thing. We are actually going to continue the Sequoyah for more missions. So the next mission will be in 2 weeks, and we will debut that in 2 weeks from today. So I'm super, super happy that that we're doing that. So thank you all so much for watching, and we really appreciate it, and we will see you next time.
Thanks,
See
everyone.
you next time. Bye.
Bye.